Hi guys, so Matt Hancock has finally resigned from his position as Secretary of State for Health. Now this should have happened ages ago. Actually, he should have been fired ages ago by Boris Johnson. This should have happened when it was clear that his department was not properly prepared for the pandemic. Actually, not that they ignored Operation or Exercise Cygnus, which reported to the government that if a pandemic hit the UK, the health service was not prepared. The exercise reported that PPE in storage was no longer usable or it was impractical and should have been replaced. Boris Johnson's government, with Matt Hancock at the head of the department, ignored the findings of the report. Then the pandemic hit. But let's hear what Matt Hancock had to say for himself.
I've been to see the Prime Minister to resign as Secretary of State for Health and Social Care. I understand the enormous sacrifices that everybody in this country has made, that you have made, and those of us who make these rules have got to stick by them, and that's why I've got to resign. I want to thank people for their incredible sacrifices and what they've done. Everybody working in the NHS, across social care, everyone involved in the vaccine programme, and frankly everybody in this country who has risen to the challenges that we've seen over this past 18 months. I'm very proud of what we've done to protect the NHS at the peak, to deliver that vaccine rollout, one of the fastest in the world, and I look forward to supporting the government and the Prime Minister from the backbenches to make sure that we can get out of this pandemic. We're so close to the end, and then build back better so that this country can fulfill its potential, which is so great. And I will do that with all of my heart.
Now, I recommend people listen to this again, because I didn't hear an apology. Did you hear an apology? I didn't hear any apology. I didn't hear an apology for the 128,000 people who have died because of actions taken or not taken by Matt Hancock and his department, and Boris Johnson as well. But we're focusing on Matt Hancock here. No apology for the deaths, the impact that's having on people's lives who are remaining, their families, their friends. No apology for that. No apology for this. The fact that, as I said before, the government ignored a report into the lack of PPE, and PPE that was out of date, that members of the NHS had to wrap themselves in bin liners to protect themselves because they didn't have sufficient PPE. No apology for that either. No apology for the fact that Matt Hancock has given contracts to, it seems, allegedly giving contracts to friends of his and associates and friends down the pub and neighbours. No apology for any of that. And no apology for one of the worst things, the lying about the protective ring around care homes. The fact that people were moved out of hospital that were infected into care homes, and the disaster that followed from that. And of course, going back to the PPE, the people working in care homes didn't have access to the correct PPE either. So, I've said before about Matt Hancock, when he was interviewed as Minister or Secretary of State, he never apologised. Now that he's no longer a member of the government, he's still not apologising. In his eyes, he's probably done nothing wrong. Maybe he should be worshipped in his eyes. Disgraceful behaviour that has cost lives. And he wants people to focus on him breaking social distancing rules. And he wants you to ignore all of the other problems. He's going to be now replaced by Sajid Javid, I think, and I don't really think things are going to improve. The incompetence is embedded within the Conservative Party and Boris Johnson's government, so you're not really going to see any major changes. I had hoped that Matt Hancock would have at least apologised. apologised for misleading people, apologised for breaking the rules, but he hasn't even done that because he doesn't believe the public deserve that. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?